This one is the day after John's mom was in, and John's embarrassed because the subject of Prozac came up.
Oh,
let me leave it at that.
What's a Prozac? A Zac that gets paid.
Yeah. Wow.
It's an old Wall Street.
Ugly stuff.
Ugly stuff.
And maybe we ought to calm down Stuttering John, our other intern, who is like freaking out because I brought up his Prozac incident. Is he really freaking out?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's no help when Fred Norris gets on the intercom yesterday and says, "Stuttering John, your Prozac's up front."
This is sucks on whipped cream cans to get high, and he's taking prescription medication that's supposed to benefit you. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I heard John pulled you in and said, "Hey, I'm really mad at you," and you kind of apologized to him and stuff?
No, he wasn't mad at me. I went and apologized before he jumped off a ledge.
What was going on? Describe the scene.
I was just making a joke, and then Robinson said, "I don't think it's a good idea." And I go...
And John slammed the door in your face?
Yeah,
I walked by.
I tried to talk to him,
Her,
and he just didn't get the joke at all. He thought this was really not funny.
Wow. Isn't it crazy? John, even back then, was drawing lines in the sand of what is and isn't funny, what is and isn't acceptable to do to people.
Right. Oh, I could bust balls with the best of them.
Right.
Mr. Shit Stirrer himself.
Yeah. Walking on stut shells, they used to call it back there in the halls.
That's great.
That's killer.
And he slammed a door in my face.
You know what?
But I don't understand him. Here's a guy who talks about peeing after drinking beer in the street. He talks about that he's tried every drug.
You know, once I went to a restaurant and the tip was included, like 50% tip, whatever.
Yeah, so here's a guy who goes around talking about he's sampled drugs. I mean, I talk about it. Gary admitted that he tried coke and stuff.
But he told what he was
Gary tried it a lot just to make sure he didn't like it.
screaming to me was his mother was probably at home crying.
Right. But why? I mean, but he's made her cry probably 1,000,000 times then.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to go. You think this is the first time she's cried over her Johnny?
Told me that in Tony and Tina's wedding, when he does the show, that like he has to smoke a cigarette, and his mom came to see him, and his mom was really bummed out that he was smoking a cigarette, even though he doesn't even inhale.
But John, how can you be upset? Don't stand in front of my camera.
Even though he doesn't inhale.
He smokes cigarettes.
He's a child. He's a baby.
But he did smoke back then.
Of course he did. Only when I drink, which is every fucking time.
Oh, that's why he loved doing that show, is because it's a wedding, it's supposed to be a wedding reception, so he could get loaded during the show.
Talk about a show written for him, man.
Wow.
I guarantee you, if you have cigarettes on you and you're out with John, I'm sure he'll bum a smoke off.
Of course. If you have $5 on you, he'll bum that too.
I don't buy cigarettes anymore. But if you got one,
right?
Can you use that beer chip?
I'd be very angry.
There's a case of drug addiction in my family.
There's what?
A case of drug addition in my family.
Yeah. So what? But you've tried everything.
No, I haven't.
You told me you tried mescaline.
Yeah, I tried mescaline.
Well, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, but I mean, it was,
Wouldn't that make your mother cry more?
Yeah. But I never told her that either. I never said that.
You said it yesterday on the air.
I think I said that mescaline. It isn't like me trying mescaline.
I don't know what you said, but you said you did mescaline.
Yeah. No. I said I didn't do mescaline. And
now you really need Prozac. You're so upset.
Do you have any idea how funny he is? Did you hear the whole thing with what he has to do in Tony and Tina's wedding?
No.
He has to snort fake cocaine. It's part of his character.
Yeah.
So he's been snorting this fake cocaine, and he finally put it together after 2 or 3 weeks in this play that he's been snorting laxative. He says, "I can't believe it. Ever since I started this play, I'm going to the bathroom every 2 minutes."
Oh, you're kidding.
Finally says, "John,
and they put laxative in it? Why would they let you snort laxative?
So far, I did it 3 times today.
Are you serious?
I said to John,
why are they giving you laxative?
Because the fake cocaine is lactose or something. And supposedly it's excrement inducive or something.
Excrement inducing.
Oh my God. I mean, even more of a perfect part, drinking and Coke.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So let's think about this. She's upset that he's doing Prozac. Yet you would have to think, if what he says is true about the what was going on in the household,
Right.
that he had to have seen a professional about it.
Yes.
Like she would have known about that, and they would prescribe. I don't believe any of it. I don't think any of that shit happened in his house, and she has no idea what's happening.
He said the fake Coke was lactose. He did.
Apparently, I'm lactose intolerant.
I told him, I'm like, Daniel Day-Lewis, I need real Coke, real beer.
Is this milk I'm snorting? What is this?
Extra mint. Extra mint.
But he doesn't ask. He doesn't say, hey, wait a second.
What am I snorting?
For a month, I'm going to be snorting something. What's in here?
Well, you would assume that the guy did it before me. It's got to be, legit.
Oh, why do you think the guy before you quit the show? He got tired of pissing out of his asshole 7 times a day. Like an idiot.
Where is the guy before you?
It is legit.
Yeah, he died.
So you've been going to the bathroom like 3 or 4 times a day?
I think the total now, 5 times in 5 hours when I get back from the play.
Oh, my God. And you're snorting laxatives?
Yeah.
I'd rather snort cocaine.
It has less side effects.
No, I mean, you've always been open about getting drunk and smoking pot.
It's just been very, sensitive issue because my mother...
How would we know this?
Well, I just would say, I mean, it's no big deal today like it was yesterday,
Oh, he's still not talking to me.
Robin,
I think you're just looking to be mad at Robin.
Yeah, I think
No, not at all. No.
It's the John thing we've seen a million times.
Mm-hmm.
They were supposed to know not to bring this up, even though he didn't tell them, don't bring this up. Then it gets brought up, and now he can't take any responsibility for it.
Right.
So who can I be mad? Robin. There you go. It's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he's also, no, it's fine. I don't care. But
No big deal, Howard, if you're asking me if I'm upset. That's what that is. Is him kissing Howard's ass. No, not you, even though you're the one who brought it up on the air. No, why would I be mad at you, boss?
I don't care.
Why are you mad at Robin?
Because sometimes she knows the drug addiction in my family.
I do?
Yes. And I discussed it with him privately. So
you? It sounds like the only drug addict in the family is him.
Drug addiction in my family. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine having to go to rehab for laxative.
Do you have any crystal meth?
I would think that she would maybe.
You think she remembers what you discussed?
She's got to.
She only thinks about herself, like I do.
I know that. Well, but I would think, Grill and Ganji, obviously, both of them couldn't fill one head, but
what?
I mean, I don't expect them to think because they're not very.
Wait, back up. How did Gorilla and Ganji get it?
The whole thing started was by.
I never spoke to Gorilla.
Yeah, I know, but they told Robin.
That's not true. You don't know that.
Yes, I do.
You do not. You don't know how I
told me that.
I never told you anything.
NBC told.
You had a meeting with Warren Little?
Anyway, she's the one who told you. It doesn't matter who told the whole.
See, what happened was John.
All right, so John, so what happened? So the point is, let me just say something. Let me say something.
Some discretion.
If you perform some
discretion, perform some discretion, Robin should have.
Yeah. Especially when you're at the Howard Stern show.
Right. It's like it's a song on a. Hi, I'm Robin Quivers. I'll be performing. Discretion today for you judges?
Let me just say something. Let me say something.
Some discretion.
If you perform some discretion?
Yes. I thought.
All right. Listen to me.
That was my opinion of it.
I did.
Now, you're a stutterer.
I mean, what's next? Suppose I had a syringe in my apartment. And,
I would talk about.
Right. Again, listen to that. Wow. Where he's going, what if I had a syringe in my apartment? Then you're a drug addict who's shooting up drugs. How is Robin responsible for this?
Yeah, you find a syringe in my apartment. I want you to perform discretion. Don't tell anybody that I'm a heroin addict.
He's basically going, Robin, fucking cover for me. Shut the fuck up. Fuck you. Don't brag about all your shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an open book until I don't want to be an open book, and you'll know that after you say something.
Well, I would take him to get help. We were taking to get help.
Yeah, we take it to get help if I talked about it.
when I, got it from Jackie, I didn't mention, all the pictures of him, banging pumpkins or anything. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Nothing. You had to delete that because I'm probably getting in trouble.
That's all right. You can say banging pumpkins.
I don't know.
All
I'm saying is, when I got Jackie's apartment, who knows what I could have found, but I would have used some discretion. If I would have found a syringe, I wouldn't have went, hey, Howard, guess what? Jackie's shooting heroin.
Of course he would.
Oh.
John was the #1 guy where everybody said the same thing. I don't want him in my house. I don't want him come. How many times did he go to Jackie's house? How many times did he come running into the studio the next day? Oh, Howard, this, that. He's got this piece of shit Jenny out there. Come on, get the fuck out of here. He's so full of shit.
Yeah, if he's got information, and to this day, it's the same way. He can't sit on it for a day. He's got to tell everybody.
Well, back then it was his only way of getting on the air.
Yeah.
So that's why the information was so crucial to him.
But even in a more general sense, he has to be the center of attention. So he has the information. He wants to feel special. He wants to feel like he's got something that people want to hear about.
Mm-hmm.
I would have said, Jackie, is there a problem? Off the air, I said,
No, wait a second. You had mentioned to me on many occasions that you were thinking of trying Prozac.
Yeah.
Because you read somewhere that it was a...
This is another thing that bothers me. It's like, it's so obvious that he's trying to bond with Howard. Why do you need to go to your fucking boss and tell him I'm thinking of going on Prozac? That would be the last person I talk to about thinking of going on Prozac.
Yeah, you do. You tell your mom if you're living with her. That's who you would tell.
Right.
That's like going to the principal at a school you work at and go, hey, I'm thinking about buying a gun. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's crazy. Sorry, just returning.
But going back to John's attention thing, I think about all the people who worked on the Howard Stern show, especially people who started as an intern or started on a low-level job and worked in the background for years and still have great careers. John went to NYU to be a director, to work in film, but what he really wants to be is in front of the camera. He never wanted to be a guy who works in the back. Even as a writer, he has to tell you he was a writer. He has to be a picture of writers. So this guy would never have been happy if he was a nameless, like a faceless name in the credits on the Stern show. He always had to get his face out there and be the center of attention.
Well, when you start speaking at 3 weeks old, you are the center of attention.
Goo-goo.
For you. Good for you.
Yeah, I heard it was like a wonder drug.
Okay.
It was like a what?
And I told you that's stupid. Prozac can't make you play the guitar better.
But just like, it's like, I thought it was just going to, like you're taking it like ecstasy almost,
All right.
But
all right, so you tried it once and it didn't do anything and you gave it up.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal?
Well, because
what are you getting all uptight
about? This way, I haven't heard from my mom now in 2 days, and I don't even want to go. I don't want to get into it.
But she knows you've tried other things.
She doesn't know that.
She doesn't.
She used to hold up bags of American.
Boss, I just need you to help me lie.
Marijuana, and I should say, that's just.
Stop for
Yeah.
So he says there's substance abuse in the family.
Correct.
So if that happens in a family, you become hyper aware, wouldn't you think?
Sure. You ask a lot more questions. You want to make sure that the others don't go down that same road, right?
Right.
And he has no problem throwing his family under the bus. He doesn't want his Prozac being brought up.
And and then like and don't forget I'm the shining light of the family.
Oh man,
what a mess!
Are you really?
Oh, hands down.
Really? Wait, because you're famous or something?
Well, no, I completed college. I'm still talking to my parents.
Right. So then tell them to relax.
Can you imagine the light of the family is a drunken, pot smoking, Prozac taking guy?
Boom. Now he's throwing his other siblings under the bus by saying that he's the only one that talks to his parents, and now his parents are pieces of shit.
Yep. Hey, thanks for watching that clip. We got a bunch more stuff from a bunch of different other shows. So if you want to support us, you want to be a part of what's happening here, subscribe, notify, and get yourself a membership. 2 levels, $5, $10. We got more bonus shows than we know what to do with. So help us out. Get in here.